sec. Hey guys, welcome to the show. I hope you're all interested tonight on our special guest. We have Sarah and we have Scott. Scott here is a self-taught psychic medium, and he's going to be talking about how he became that, how he sees spirits, and he'll be answering some questions, but that'll be later, obviously. We're joined by Lewis, obviously, my lovely co-host. So, without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Scott, and he's going to introduce himself, and then he's going to tell you all about how he became a psychic, how it began. Anyway, I'm going to bring you up there, Scott. Okay? Enjoy.
Yep. Hi there, everyone. My name's Scott. I'm from Kilmarnock and just outside Glasgow. I've been into the paranormal for over 25 years now. I first discovered that I had some kind of gift way back. It started off, cut a long story short, started off before kind of, it was wee simple things I would notice, you know, I knew what people were going to say before they said it. If a landline rang, this is in the days before mobile phones were invented. If a landline rang, I knew I could tell you who was calling, basically. So this carried on for a couple of years. Wee small things I could feel. Sometimes I could maybe think I could feel somebody beside me, hear names, etc. But I just shrugged it off. And one night I went to a spiritualist church in Glasgow. Totally just spur of the moment. Nothing, nobody knew me. I didn't know anybody there. The meeting came on. She was a lady, and she came straight to me, and she told me about a daughter that I'd lost quite a few years back. The hot desk told me her name, told me she'd been with me since I came in. She also told me about a girl that I used to go out with, who had sadly been killed overseas. But she told me her name, she told me how she passed, and she told me the countries that the accident happened in, and she said that she's watching over you, and she always will be. And then she went on to talk about my dad. She described my dad right down to a T. And the woman says you're studying something, and I still remember it word for word to this day. She says you're studying something, and you keep finding books on it. And it was true. I kept going to the library, and every time I went to the library, I'd find a new book on spiritualism. And she says your dad's tell me that you've got a gift, and you have to pursue it. You have to keep going, keep studying at it. And then she brought my gran through as well, who she described, the thing that got me about my gran was she described one little habit that my gran had that nobody outside her family knew. And it was a thing that nobody ever discussed. It was just concerning the old-fashioned apron she used to wear. But this woman told me exactly what it was that my gran used to do. So I came away from there, my head was kind of spinning, basically, you know, and so that's when I really started to notice things. I think I kind of opened up more after that happened. Before, as I said, I would just shrug it off. But I think after seeing this woman and talking to the woman, my mind kind of dropped the barrier sort of thing. A lot of us are psychic, but we have this barrier up that some of us aren't aware of it. But once you have an experience or you maybe see something that changes your mind and the barrier comes down, and that's when you become more able to pick up things. And after my barrier came down, that's when I was able to see a lot more, hear a lot more. I could feel Alison round about me. There was one incident where I was in a car crash, and I try to make this a short story, but I used to drive a van, and it was before the seatbelt law. Never ever wore a seatbelt. I hated them. One day I was down in Carlisle, and I'd finished my run, put in a lay-by for just a break, and before I left, something kept telling me, put your belt on. This kept going on, and so I put my belt on, and I was about 20 miles south of Glasgow in a contraflow on the motorway, the traffic was at a standstill, and this van went into the back of me, doing about 70 mile an hour. The van, the van I was in was a total write-off. I hurt my neck.
That's amazing.
And the police says to me, the van, if I hadn't been wearing my belt, I would have been through the windscreen. I wouldn't have been here. So I always put that, after I was in the Allison, because it was just in my head, put your belt on. And as I say, I never ever wore. Because a friend of mine many years back, his mum was killed in a car crash. And the reason she couldn't get out of the car went on fire. And it was a seatbelt jam. And they couldn't get her out of the seatbelt.
Oh, no.
That's
the police
bad.
said,
I mean,
if she hadn't been wearing a belt, she'd be alive. We could have saved her. So I think that kind of turned me off of seatbelts, and that's how I swore against it. But now, obviously, I wear them all the time. So, you know, but I get, it's, to my knowledge, I've never actually seen a ghost. But then, sometimes we don't know, because a lot of people have this image, ghosts appear and just, you can transparent form. But spirits can appear solidly. You know, you can walk by one in the street and not realise it. You know, it's a kind of funny thing. Yeah. Well, there's been many cases of people seeing somebody at the end of their path or walking up the stairs, and they'll say to a family member, you know, there's somebody up that stairs, and they've described them, saying, no, that's, and, you know, maybe that's your Uncle Alec, he died 10 years ago, that's what you just described your Uncle Alec. But they look as real as you and me. So you couldn't state it for a person.
So in theory, I could be walking down the street and I could pass somebody. They look just normal, but they could just be dead.
I know it might sound,
That's
you know,
amazing.
some people, that sounds absurd, but there have been cases of people seeing somebody standing in a garden path, and they're kind of, you know, you look at the window, who's that there? You go outside, and they're gone. They're just vanished. You know, you tell somebody about it, and the person you tell might recognise the description. Turns out this person passed on. It has happened, you know, but so as I say, to my knowledge, I've never actually seen a ghost, but you sense them, you sense spirit around you. You get that the age-old feeling that somebody's in the room beside you, or you get a sort of a mental picture, a mental photograph that I get. You know, I'll look at a place and I'll see
yesterday.
Yesterday with the marketplace kind of thing.
Aye.
When I looked down the hill, I saw a marketplace.
And then I sent you the picture.
With traders, as I've described them. But when you look at the street, you just see a normal street. But it was up here that, you know, there was traders walking about, horses, and, you know, your typical kind of market scene. So it's hard to describe, really, it is, but it's just, it's like looking at a mental photograph in your head, and sometimes you get a persistent spirit, like Michelle's gran.
Yeah.
You know, as I say before,
that was amazing.
As you know, I'd no knowledge of Michelle before I met her last night. But yesterday, it was just this name kept coming, and it just wouldn't go out of my head. And just persistency, you do get that sometimes, where it'll just be constant persistence. You just keep thinking of a name or, you know, something. And it's really spirit just trying to give you a wee nudge.
Yeah.
I was amazed. I mean, I was amazed, because she does talk about it quite a lot, her gran passing. And how you picked that out, I was in shock. See when you started talking about it, I was holding my camera, and I was just like that, and I was like, oh my god, this guy is amazing.
Well,
and it's the same with the it was the same with the church, about how you could tell there was two different spirits. One was nice and one was kind of crabber.
Choose your friends a grumpy burger, basically. You know, quite as I say, he's quite authoritative, and it's got to be his way done. You know, but on the other side of the church, it's a total, and you can feel when you walk from one side of that graveyard to the other, you can feel the atmosphere gets lighter. You can physically feel it on the other side of the the graveyard. The church is an amazing place. It really is an amazing place.
Well, it's old. It's nearly 1,000 years old. I mean, you're going to have something hanging about, aren't you? But how you explained to me yesterday, the guy with the grey hair, that kind of, who was he?
Straight grey hair with the black tunic, I think you call it, for want of a better word. Tunic on. I don't think he's the one that I picked up on. But as you know, he wouldn't come across. He was there just staring at the ground, basically. And he just wasn't for talking. You see, spirits are... A lot of people have different concepts of spirits after, you know, I don't like to use the word die, but after we pass away, a lot of people have different, you know, ghosts and ghouls and stuff. But spirits is actually... When we pass over, we're the exact same as we were in the physical. Except, obviously, with our physical body. Personality, sense of humour, everything, we take that with us, you know. So, you know, if you were a happy-go-lucky soul in the physical life, in the spirit world, you're still the same. Except, obviously,
so it's the same if you're Crabbit.
If you're Crabbit,
so if you're
if you're a Crabbit, so then when you pass over, you still remain the same, you know. But saying that, if you pass over, and the only thing that changes when we pass over is your expected your view on death, basically, because then because everybody, you know, everybody in the physical, it's age of what happens when we die. You know, where do we go? Some people think it's just lights out and that's it, game over.
No, it's
but obviously,
it's
when you die, that's the thing that changes. That you know then, all right, so this happens, or I can go here, I can do, you know. You do have the option whether to go into the light. There's no force into the light, but you do have the option to get into the light or stay here, basically.
It was like you told me about the two soldiers that chose to stay.
At the memorial.
And basically protect. Yeah.
Well, they're happy and content. What I got was they're happy and content to be there. You know, they don't feel like it's a duty. Yeah. They feel like it's something that they want to do. You know, to maybe compare it to, it's maybe like a gardener looking after a garden. He doesn't have to do it, but it's a hobby. So these soldiers feel like, you know, we want to do this. We want to stay here, and they're happy enough there. You know, there's no reason to move on. Whether they're waiting another, you know, some of their friends returning.
I do know a lot of people's ashes get scattered there, and I think maybe that's why they're doing it.
But as soon as I walked in, I picked the two of them up, just wandering about, and then, you know, that's two normal guys. That's what I'm saying. We stay the same, you know, in spirit as we did in life. These were just two normal guys, and they still are two normal guys, but obviously in spirit and not in the physical. But the church is an amazing place. There's that much history. Who are you going to say, sorry?
I mean, no, it's all right. I'm just listening to you because I like listening to things about the afterlife and stuff like that. I mean, see how people see when they have near-death experiences. What's your thoughts on near-death experiences? You know, the tunnel of light, and then they're floating above their beds, and some people lying dying of cancer, and they point to the corner and they say, "Oh, my mum's here and my grandfather's here." You know, what's your thoughts on that? You think the family do come to collect you?
I believe that when, you know, I mean, it happened with my dad. My dad died on Easter Sunday, and we were up seeing him, and he pointed to his mum in the corner, and there was something in the corner. I could pick up something light in the corner, and it has been well known that, you know, when it's near your time to pass, the relatives do come to help you, to guide you, to, you know, tell you. You know, you can come to the light, or you can stay here, just to make their transition. Because I heard the saying years ago, saying there is no death. It's just a transition from one dimension to another. That's it. Death's it's just a name for a wall to a door, basically.
So
my thought on that is,
when you go loose,
your relatives do come and
take you.
Take you basically.
What happens if you don't want to go there? What happens if you don't want to go? What happens if you're like the soldiers and they're like, no, I don't want to go. I'm staying here until my wife dies.
My view on it, they'll come and help you and try to guide you. But if you don't want to go, then you don't go. You can't be forced to go into the light. It's got to be your choice to go. So
ask a quick one, Scott, from you. So on the part of like departing from the earth, as you like sort of you're ending your life, do you feel like you go through the pain for a prolonged period before your body dies, or do you think it's like all of a sudden you're like sort of taken by or surrounded by these other spirits, let's say, and then they sort of comfort you into sort of the transition? What do you think on that? I don't know, like obviously.
You mean like cancer?
So say
cancer.
Yeah, that's what you mean.
So yeah, say you're dying and you're like proper ill, and do you think like it's like you're not gonna you'll be, instead of going through like say for instance this is just an example, say you was suffocating, yeah, and I know it's a horrible thing, but do you think you just suddenly get ripped out your body and that's it, like you just get taken away from that pain, but you only experience it for a short amount of time? Or do you think you would suffer until your body just like cuts out, if that makes sense?
Well, you probably usually suffocating, someone like drowning as well.
Yeah,
it has been said, there have been thought that you do suffer for a couple of minutes, and then that's it. You're gone basically. You just you pass over, and your relatives are there, your friends are there. Can I just break for 1 second? I've got a wee kitten who's been a wee.
Of course you can.
That's all right.
Well, we'll ask Sarah some questions. What do you think, Sarah, about the afterlife?
Down.
To be honest, I'm not really. Scott's a lot more into it than me. I prefer the kind of history side of things rather than the paranormal side of it.
So you're more the researcher? Would you say?
If we're ever going anywhere, like for instance yesterday, I sat beforehand and researched all the history of Douglas, all the history of Edinburgh, stuff like that.
Wow.
Whereas Scott likes to he doesn't really bother with the history, so to speak.
And I make a point of telling Sarah, don't, she'll say, I found this, I found that one. I said, well, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. So I make the point of saying, I don't want to know anything.
Yeah. Makes sense. You don't want to know what's going on.
But that's it. But if you know you're going to Douglas, you don't want all the details before you go, because then there's too many fake mediums out there. I'm not going to name names or anything.
I know what you mean. I've seen them on TV.
These ghost shows, and every episode you're guaranteed something to happen, and something is just laughable. It's just it gives the serious paranormal community a bad name.
Yeah.
Let's just get this straight before anything.
There's a lot of people fake things.
Can I say one thing? I don't mean to interrupt, Chris, but what Scott's saying, basically, he's gone and seen Chris, and he spoke to Chris about specific things that he wouldn't have known. Scott would never have known. So that just shows his authenticity to what he's talking about. And the fact that his wife looks into things.
That's amazing.
It's good to get sort of information that she knows certain things, but she doesn't say to him. And then obviously he comes out with stuff and she's like blown away by it. I'm guessing that's the kind of the result that happens when you go to a specific place.
It is, because like I said, I look into the history of the actual place, not the paranormal history, just the general what's happened in the area and stuff like that. And then regardless, no matter where we've went, I've always done the history of it, and then Scott goes and kind of does the paranormal side of it, and then we'll link it together so that you get the broader picture of things.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's not just all about the spirits that Scott picks up and stuff. It's kind of, I give the history point of view about how these spirits would have got there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of links it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
A picture.
it's like how Scott picked up in the battle. There was a battle early, 600 years ago. How you picked up in that, and how you knew where they were buried. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's
The
amazing.
field over the road, kind of. That's what I call it, the road.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? The field over there. I'd never been to Douglas until that day. To be honest, I'd never even heard of Douglas. Because I had to Google map it to find out where I was going. Because I did not have a clue where I was going.
I were a wee place, I must admit. But you know, it's got a lot of history.
That place is
Going
steeped in
back-
history.
Yeah, I mean, going back, I'm just going to jump a bit back here. Now, see how Lewis was going about how you get ripped out your body when you die, so you don't suffer. I have heard this, and I've always wondered if it's true or no. Some psychics have said that, like, say you're in bed and you're dying of cancer and you're in agony, right? Some say that the angels or the spirit guides will take you, and they'll take you to the afterlife, but they'll bring you out of it very slowly, so you're not. You know what I'm trying to say?
I know you're
So
trying
you
to say.
know, like, if you've laid in your bed and you've suffered for months in agonising pain, taking morphine and God knows what, and then like that, you die, right? You're not going to just burst into life and start dancing about. I mean, what I've been told and heard, they take you over at the other side and they bring you out very slowly, so you realise it's real. It's no. What I've heard. What do you think?
See, there's that many different variations of passing over and what have you. I've heard, you get the old. You've heard about. Have you heard about the sleep or death? Death sleep.
No.
When
I've heard the meaning, but I've never heard.
Go on, continue.
Death basically means you go to sleep here, and then you wake up and you're on the other side, basically. So they call that death sleep. But no, I've heard many accounts of people passing over, and when I say passing away, I'll not say passing over because that would mean completely say passing away, and they just, their eyes will shut here and then they'll wake up and realise that they're still in their house, but nobody can see them, basically. I think it really depends on how the person passes away. If a soul passes away peacefully, it's expecting what have you, then they wake up and if it's horrific, then also the soul. Same as there'll be a lot of damage done to the physical body. There's a lot of damage done to the soul as well, to the spirit.
The mind.
Basically, so that needs to be repaired, for want of a better word.
Because I was thought that.
I don't think they're taking it
that
it's a 2-second delay, that's what it is.
I mean, I always thought.
I forgot about that.
I mean, I always thought that, like, see my grandmother. My grandmother, right? She died. What do you call it? Dementia. Right? She didn't ken who anybody was. She never forgot who I was, mind you. I found amazing. Everybody else didn't ken who they were. Right? So, what would happen there when she died? Would she instantly regain everything? Would she realise, I'm this, and I didn't realise it was like that?
Yeah, because you do, because all these like dementia, cancer, it's all physical. It affects your physical body, your physical functions. It doesn't affect who you are or what you are spiritually. So once you pass away, then the physical's left behind. That broken body's, it's just a vessel, basically. And your spirit is fine. There's no dementia in your spirit. It's actually the body that's the damaged part, and not the spirit. If that answers your kind of question. So when she passed away,
it does actually. It does.
You could compare it to a gunshot victim. He passes over. He's not getting any bullet wounds. you know, because he's in spirit. It's the body.
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick one?
Kind of thing.
Quick one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So it's for you, Scott. Sorry, Sarah.
It's fine.
So it's Sarah. Sarah, isn't it?
Sarah, yeah.
Yeah, Sarah. So with me, and I don't know about you yourself, Scott, but if you was to like pick up something that was like, say, 150 years old, like when I was in primary school, I picked up a tin of beans and some old World War One and World War Two like stuff that obviously what do you call it, history, like they're you know what I'm saying. I picked it up and I got that feeling, that feeling you get which taps you to a specific time. So like every time you have a sort of a feeling of a certain time in your life, do you get that feeling as well? Like, is it really prevalent in your life or not? Or do you
I've never had that feeling of picking up anything. 2 seconds. I do apologise for this. It's like 2 kittens in this living room, and sometimes it just go hyper. You know what I mean? I had my can of juice sitting on the table, and one of the kittens was heading for it. So that's that. Averted. No, I've never had that happen to me. You pick up a coin or an old World War II relic or something. No, I've never. It's always just up here that I pick up and stuff.
Yeah, it's just different. There's different senses, isn't there, for different people? Like that, there's different psychic abilities from what I've sort of looked into. Clairvoyance, and then you can see things, and then there's just like go on, you can speak.
Different psychics are attuned to different things. You'll get a psychic who can maybe is good at hearing. Spirit talking. You'll get a psychic who's maybe good at seeing them. You get a psychic who's maybe good at reading their thoughts, and it's all different kind of. They've all got their own special field. Me, I don't know. I just kind of pick up. I'm just a normal guy, and I just kind of pick up stuff. I don't know why. I don't know why I was chosen.
I've got a wee question here for both of you. Actually, I've got a question for both of you. As you've told me, you like to go to Greyfriars, one of the most interesting graveyards, I would say, in the world. What do you see, Scott, when you go there? If you want to tell the audience, and Sarah, what do you think of Greyfriars? What do you think of the history? Because you love that.
Absolutely love that up. I love Edinburgh in general, but I love Greyfriars even more. It's just every time we go, I'm a stickler for taking pictures. Everywhere I go, I take lots and lots. Yesterday, I think I took about 75 pictures.
Wow.
That's
amazing.
And what did you
that's what you want.
Did you pick anything?
That's what you want, do you?
We did actually pick stuff up in the photos,
yeah.
There's 4 or 5 pictures, I think, that things have actually came through on the picture. But every time I've went, regardless, like if it's during the day or at night, we always end up with cracking pictures of things coming through.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's just weird.
I mean,
how it works. Yeah.
Scott, when you walk into Greyfriars, when you cross the line into like Hallow Ground, right? When you cross that line, see before you get there, do you see the people? Can you see them in your head, like looking behind gravestones and just waiting for you, or do you see them as you cross it?
As soon as you walk, I mean, you know where Greyfriars is. Greyfriars sits right basically in the middle of Edinburgh. And it sits on one of the main routes in Edinburgh. As soon as you walk in, doesn't matter if it's, I've been to Greyfriars during the day, evening, middle of the night, I've been to Greyfriars. The atmosphere is always the exact same as soon as you walk in. It's like you're taken away into a different time, basically. And every time I walk into Greyfriars, I can see them in my head. It's just hundreds and hundreds of spirits just basically standing about.
God.
If you think of the history of Greyfriars, they estimate there's roughly about 500,000 bodies buried in Greyfriars.
Wow.
That's the reason.
That's a lot.
You were saying that it was only like a foot down.
Aye, well, when Greyfriars originally opened, when they first, it was at street level, it was totally flat. There was a wee kind of valley in it, but now if you go to Greyfriars, you see it's on a hill. and that's just down to the sheer amount of bodies.
Bodies, wow.
I mean, thousands of plague victims were just piled in there because there's nowhere else to put them, basically. And you are just literally about a foot underground. It doesn't. You've heard the saying that, you know, if you walk in a graveyard, you don't walk across a grave. You know, you always walk between the headstones. In Greyfriars, you don't have any option. It doesn't matter where you walk in Greyfriars, you're walking over bodies, even if it's on a path, there's something under there. And it has been known, very heavy weather, like heavy rain, that bones have surfaced. People have found bones sticking out the ground.
Oh,
an arm bone or a skull or, you know, a rib. Bones have been found sticking to the actual ground. That's how close to the surface they actually are. And all the, I mean, the thing is, they can all be looked up. You know, I'm not just trying to make Greyfriars more scarier than it is, but it can all be looked up. And it is. But when
that's the question I was going to ask for Sarah. I was just going to ask Sarah, how old is Greyfriars? I don't know. I've never looked it up.
There's a question. I'm not actually sure, to be quite honest.
Greyfriars dates back. Greyfriars was first opened, I think it was 1571. What happened was Greyfriars started out as a kind of garden area. And and it takes its name. There was these Franciscan monks from England who moved up here, and the habits that they wore were grey, and that's where the name Greyfriars comes from. They were there for about 400 years before they were kicked out, basically. And the most common burial ground was Canning Gate Cut, which is just down for Greyfriars, but that was full. So the authorities went to Mary Queen of Scots and asked if they could use Greyfriars. And the first burial took, I might be wrong, but I think it's about 1591 something, the first burial took place in Greyfriars. And it's just been filled up since then. So it goes way back.
Of course, there's that other bit of Edinburgh. Of course, there's that other area of Edinburgh that's meant to be haunted. What is it? I can't remember, Sarah, you'll know. It's underground, it's like streets and houses underground.
I know what you're talking about.
Meant to be like a ghosty, like a little girl. Aye.
Me and Scott's actually been in the vault. Been there?
Oh, really? No, that is crazy.
Wow.
I've seen it on TV before. If it's where I'm thinking it is.
I'll actually tell you a story about the vaults. When me and Scott went, you go in and you go into, there's like 3 rooms that they take you into, and the first room that we went into, I kid you not, I was sweating buckets. I looked like I'd been in a shower. Right? I was that warm.
Wow.
But see, by the time, like the minute I stepped foot into the next bit of the vaults, I was totally dry.
Freezing.
I don't know.
Wow. There's one room in the vault. In the vaults, there's a wee girl. The wee girl runs about. You can pick her up.
I've heard about it.
I picked her up running about. But there's 2 sets of vaults. There's Blair Street vaults and there's Nidri Street vaults. And both are supposed to be equally haunted. There's been a couple of ghost programs featured. You know, they've done episodes in the vaults. But the vaults is a very close, clammy atmosphere when you walk in.
Yeah.
I know you're underground. It might sound insane. You're underground, but you just feel it closing in on you down the vaults. There's one room in the vaults where it's a totally different temperature, and they can't explain why this is. It's a lot cooler. The vaults are lit by candles. It's every room you go in is quite warm, but there's one particular room you go into, and as soon as you step in, you can feel the change in temperature, and you can't explain why this happens. Because there's no drafts, there's no air conditioning, there's nothing.
No.
So this is one particular room. But the vaults is fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
I've heard the people going to it. I mean, I've heard the people going to it, and it's meant to be amazing. But hopefully I'll get to go one day, maybe with you guys. And Andrina too. I just seen Andrina in the chat there. Saying that her man's in hospital. I hope he gets better. Just thought I would say that there. Saved me typing it out. But what about the castle? You ever been to the castle?
I've been to the castle when I was a teenager, basically. Way back. I went with a friend of mine. I'm going back maybe about 16, 17 or something. And so back then, to be honest with you, I never really noticed it. We were just two young boys kicking about a castle, basically, if you know what I mean. But I'd like to get back into the castle because the castle is meant to be quite active. One place in Edinburgh I'd like to go, but it's impossible to go because it's sealed off, is the tunnel that runs underneath the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. See the road leading up to the castle.
I've heard about that.
The tunnel underneath it. I would love to get down there to see if you pick up on the drummer boy. I don't know if you know the story of the tunnel or not.
I don't know the story. I don't know the story.
Story goes, they found this tunnel. I'm going back a couple hundred years. They found a tunnel, and nobody knew where he went. So this young drummer boy volunteered to walk down and play his drum. And so men followed him from street level, and you could hear him playing the drum, and then the drum just suddenly stopped. So they've been down to look for him, and they couldn't find him. There wasn't any shafts. They felt there was nothing. It just vanished.
So it just disappeared.
It was never ever found, and it's still said to this day. On some nights you can still see the sound of drums on that stretcher road. I'd love to be able to get down into that tunnel, just for a.
I honestly never heard of that. I've honestly never heard of the tunnel for there. I've never heard of that. I ken the castle because I've been there many a time when I was a young boy with the school, but I didn't know. I'm going to look that up tonight. That'll be something interesting.
There's a tunnel
What
run.
do you think, Sarah?
About what? About the castle?
The castle and the tunnel, yeah.
The last time I was at the castle was about 4-5 years ago, maybe.
I mean, I've heard it's meant to have a ghost of a piper and stuff like that. That's what I've heard, but you don't know until you go there and you see the things. I was going to ask, Scott, would you be alright to ask a couple of questions in the chat? Because some of them are asking.
I'll answer a couple of questions if I can.
Right, Lewis,
I'll give it a back.
Let's see. Does anybody get a question for Scott or Sarah?
Well, I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. I just need to to the bathroom.
No problem. See ya.
There you go.
Chris, you can click him on the screen from your thingy, can't you? To ask him.
There was one for Dobie. I'm just trying to find the one for Dobie. That was quite an interesting one.
10 p.m. it says. And you scroll up past where you typed, says Scott, what is your opinion on a person passing away in their sleep and being by themselves at the time? Do they wake with someone there?
They do wake with the person Dobie, did you say?
Yeah, Dobby.
Dobby. But if someone passes away in their sleep, if they pass away alone, there is someone there it could be a relative. We've all got a spirit guide. We've all got somebody that watches over us, and it could be them. But it's always a loved one that'll come and greet them, basically. So you never pass over alone. You pass over in the physical, but as soon as you enter the spiritual, then you're never alone. There's somebody there to greet you.
Who else in the chat would like to say? Is there anybody else in the chat got a question? Let's have a wee look. There was somebody there. I'm trying to find them. I'm reading them all the way back.
There was another one. Yeah, I'm just looking for
it. Was that what the electric?
You got Tiggy got all clear cancer from the hospital a few days ago. Got another checkup around 3 months. Yeah, great stuff, Tiggy.
Very good.
Really happy for you. When a person.
Oh wait, we might as well just wait until somebody puts some answers up. I'll ask another couple of questions. That's all right, Scott.
When a person close to you is close to the end of life, they put, I believe the spirit takes flight, leaving and returning several times after life ends. your loved one's spirit may hang around for a while, or after life ends, your loved ones. Yeah, is that what you're familiar with? Like the spirit, like hanging around for a few days or something before they leave. Do they sort of stay around, or?
Years ago now, I used to go to Spiritualist Church in Glasgow.
Right.
On Sucky Hall Street. I think it's the kind of main one in Glasgow. And what used to happen there is you could go in and sit down and have a cup of tea, coffee before the service started. One day I was in and I was listening. I was kind of eavesdropping into a conversation. The next table was a medium. The mediums come out and they'll sit down and talk to you. And they were saying that you can attend your own funeral. It sounds nuts, but you can attend your own funeral. After you pass, you're still hanging about, and you can go to your own funeral and stuff like that. So, the person asked that question, yeah, if your loved one, passes, then they will come back. Because, as I says, they're still the same people as they were in the physical, and that love's no broken. So, obviously, they know with them passing away that it's leaving a big hole in the family. And so they want to make sure. That's the reason I think why Michelle's gran came through. Just to let Michelle know.
To help her.
I'm still about, I'm fine, I'm here. And that's what the loved ones tried to do. Spirit will always find a way to get through. They could use something, somebody else will always, if they feel that a family member's in distress or, they're having a really bad time, they'll find a way to, it could be a week, could be a month down the line, but they'll find a way to come back and let them know everything's okay. So, when your family member passes away, they still are there to look after the family, basically.
There's Alan, got an interesting question. Can the spirits come through windows? I suppose they couldn't they? They just walk through the wall.
Spirit can go anywhere because they've got no physical. They don't have a physical body stopping them. So, they can come through a window, a wall, whatever you say, have to show about ghosts going through walls, etc. I've never heard of a spirit not being able to get through a window. That's what I will say. But, so my opinion, because spirit can go anywhere. There's no...
What's your thoughts on demons?
Demons, to me, demons are souls that have never had a physical body. They've never had a life. They're fallen angels, basically. Yeah. A lot of people say they don't believe in God, etc. But I believe there is something called God. So if you believe in God, you need to believe in a devil as well. You need to believe in the demons. So my thought on demons is that there's various ideas about the spirit world. But my belief is, and my understanding for what I've got over the years is, it's on different levels. I was saying to you yesterday, Chris, we're on different levels. Right. And demons are kind of the lower level,
the very lowest,
the basement kind of thing, for want of a better word. So they're spirits that have never had a physical life and probably never will. So if they get the opportunity to try and maybe possess someone, then they take it because it's the only chance they'll get, basically. And they're only there to cause disruption and as much pain and anguish as they possibly can. That's their frame of mind, if you put it that way. But that's
I have heard, I don't know if it's true or not, the gooder the person you are, the higher up the level you go in the spirit world.
Aye, if you've been a good soul in life, a bright soul in life, then when you pass over, you are taken care of, so you do have a good life on the other side, so to speak, But I want to put across everybody.
What do you think the other side's like?
I've got no idea. I can't really answer it. It is an interesting one. I think everybody wonders that. You've seen there's that many different depictions of heaven, you know, like big white mansions, you get or it's gardens, you know, there's that many. It's one of these things, but even as a medium, I wouldn't try and say, oh, it's like this, you know, it's big gardens and fields and trees. It's sort of, you find it when you go, you know. Because if you go through the light,
there's only way about fun out in
it. So, I mean, I could sit here and say, aye, it's like this, but I wouldn't do that, you know. I'm just being totally honest. It's
So can you come back? Can you come back if you go into the light?
There is a time of reincarnation.
Even to visit?
To visit, I really don't know. I don't want to say yes to that one as well. You know, I mean, what I say to people is the stuff I'm saying tonight is it's just from my experience. You know, I'm not saying it's facts and figures are true. You know, obviously maybe people disagree, people will agree, you know. But there are, I mean, reincarnation, I believe, is real. Because I've talked to several people in different groups and what have you, and I've always had an attraction. Sarah says at Edinburgh, I've always been drawn to Edinburgh, and every time I go to Edinburgh, I've had to go, even if I've not been with Sarah. Every time I used to go to Edinburgh for day trips, you know, during the summer, I had to go to Greyfriars, whether it was 10 minutes or an hour, I had to go. And I've spoke to people about this strange drawing that I get. And one person says they think I've had a past life. And I lived in Edinburgh, basically, and that's where I'm buried, in Greyfriars. And that's why I've got this pool to Greyfriars.
There's Dobby Sock.
But I do believe
an interesting question.
Yeah. Is there a special place?
An interesting Scott.
Is there a special place for animals when they die, like they say Rainbow Bridge, or do they go to family members who have passed before them?
We've heard the stories of doggy heaven and, you know, stuff like that. My understanding is that they go to family members, they go to their loved ones, you know, you're kind of, say the family dog was close to its master, the master passed over. Like Greyfriars Bobby, for instance, you know, when that dog passed, it would have went to his master. So
it would have went to him.
I don't believe there's a separate heaven for dogs and humans. It's all that we all go to the same place, and dogs are reunited with their owners, you know, as they were in this life.
Can I ask? Sorry, Chris. I know you've got something on your mind.
No. You go. I'm just.
Do you think, Scott, that we are that we start off as a small bundle of energy and we increase in size and become into this sort of like body we are now? So we start off as like insects, and then we gradually go through the karmic sessions, and then eventually we get to these like animals like dogs. Or do we get to choose? What do you think? What do you think it is? Do you think we're growing from a small massive energy, or into a large ball of energy, and sort of like a soul, an understanding of like our soul growing bigger, if that makes sense? Do you think we just learn and then end up in this body through the years?
I think we're all individual souls before we get here, basically. You know, again, this is just my understanding. And when you're born, you know, you're born away, nobody can remember when they were a baby. Each life that we're given, I believe, is a chance for your soul to learn.
Yeah.
Each life is through different experiences. You know, different things will happen. So to me, it's a learning curve. Maybe, you know, we're all destined for something big. Who knows? But no, I believe that with each incarnation, as you say, we start off with a wee spirit. We're a soul, basically. A soul doesn't have a size. A spirit doesn't have a size. We are just spirit. And I don't know if that answers your question or not.
No, you kind of have. Just like, do you think that, if you put it that way, if you kind of haven't answered it, do you think that you could choose to be like a bird, or choose to be a snake, or, you know, do you think that's a possibility in the afterlife, whether you want to come back as a human or as like a creature or do you think that the creatures are sort of like got souls, but they're not so like. I don't know, because I hear birds speaking to each other for crying out loud, and they're so intelligent, but we're made to seem like they're not intelligent. So whether we're being lied to, do you know? It's weird.
It's an interesting question. I think it's one you could go round and round in circles with. About, you know, cats and dogs and stuff. They are intelligent in their own way.
Yeah.
Same as us. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't really get a definite answer to that, because it is a bit of, you know, it's a bit of, I've never been asked that before, and you know, it's something I know we're all spirit, and so that's a good. That's
good question.
Kind of stumped me, that one.
Well, here's a question.
You know, sorry guys.
Here's
you
an
know,
interesting question.
That's all right. That's all right.
Have
you can't answer everything. No, I can't answer everything. If
I can't answer, I'll tell you. You know.
Yeah.
No, can't do. Basically, you know. Sorry. Fire away. Sorry, Chris.
I know it's alright. Have you ever been touched with one? Ken, have you ever felt like it walking through you?
Sorry.
That's for,
you said that, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, have you just walking through you? Imagine you were sitting in a graveyard and you felt it sitting down next to you.
I've had that. I've had that quite a few times. It's with a shiver, you know, and you kind of tensed up for a couple of seconds, and do you know there's something there? I actually got touched with a branch in Greyfriars last night. Sarah was there when it happened. Believe it or not, Sarah will testify to this. We were at the Mackenzie tomb, and there was a gap in the railing, so I managed to squeeze through the gap. And I was standing, I think Andrina was there beside me as well, and I just felt this thing touching my leg. And it was a branch. There wasn't any wind, and this particular bit of the tomb, there was walls all around it, so it's no if it was a draft. But this branch actually moved and touched me in the leg. They turned around immediately and said to Sarah, that just moved and touched me in the leg, you know. But no, I have been touched, and you know, you felt something.
Sorry, I've been touched. Excuse me, sir.
I mean, have you ever?
I've watched too much television.
You ever
this morning where they're saying ghosts make love to people.
Tombs. I mean, that Mackenzie's tomb is interesting. It's a shame you're not allowed to go back into it to do investigations anymore. Do you know anything about who was Mackenzie?
Who he was?
Who was he? Aye, who was he? What was his role? Obviously, it's quite a big tomb. We're all looking at you. We're all waiting for the.
No stress.
George Mackenzie.
Sarah, what do you think?
He was a very cruel man. I don't like being on the spotlight.
But we'll go back to Scott then. Who was he, Scott?
George Mackenzie was the Lord Advocate, Chief Advocate in Edinburgh, back at the time of the Covenanters, King Charles II. And when the Covenanters were defeated at Boswell Bridge, you remember that, the battle, they were taken to Greyfriars. They were taken to Greyfriars, hence you get the Covenanters prison. Back then, it was just fields. The Covenanters prison was fields. This was before the vaults were built there. So they were just basically dumped in open fields and left. George Mackenzie, as I said, was the Lord Chief Advocate. He was given the task by the king, because the Covenanters were all seen as traitors, you know, because it was seen as an act of treason. So he was given the job by the king to take care of them, basically. And so he was responsible for the torture and execution of about 12,000 Covenanters in Greyfriars prison. So that earned him the nickname Bloody Mackenzie. And it was just ironic. It was just ironic that when he died, that he was buried in Greyfriars. That's who George Mackenzie was. He was a brutal, brutal man. He tortured and hung. They were hung at just outside St Giles Cathedral, the toll booth. That's where the scaffold was. They were taken in there and hung, or they were just left to perish.
Did you know cut their hands off or something like that and pin them up?
I'm
sure they did with the Covenanters.
That was the punishment. They would cut their hands off and nail them to the wall, basically, nail them to a bit of wood or a board, some kind of board or a bit of the wall. They would also do it to their ears as well. They cut their ears off and they would nail their ears. A lot of them were beheaded. A lot of them were hung. But it was all done by George Mackenzie.
W. Sock was saying, they were all kept there to die. It was terrible. Yeah, I just read that. I think people got hurt. What's that say at the bottom? The
Covenanters has a
terrible atmosphere. Yeah, there's some really bad places up in Scotland, isn't there? There is quite a lot. I've not looked in really much of the history, but there's some really bad. I don't mean the people. I mean the places that people are
in England, there's the Tower of London.
Killed and that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, all the beheadings and that. It's not nice.
I've been in the Covenanters prison. I went on one of the city. There's a tour company in Edinburgh. They've got permission to go in at night for the tours, and I went on a tour at night one time, and they open the gate and let you go in, and there is a totally. I was saying to Andrina last night, in fact, when we were there, when you go to the gate of the Covenanters, you can feel the difference in the atmosphere between the Greyfriars and the prison. It's totally down. As soon as you walk into the prison, it's what a heavy atmosphere just descends on you. And there has been hundreds upon hundreds of reported attacks. And so that's why it's locked off now. The council decided, enough's enough. And that's why it's actually locked. You're not allowed to go in. Just because of the sheer volume attacks. And a lot of people say they were faked. These attacks, people getting scratches and bitten and whatnot. But a lot of the reports from people are from people who had nothing to gain. They weren't seeking publicity. They weren't wanting to sell their story. They just reported the attack and then moved on with their life. And they had, they took photographs of their injuries and what have you. So it is a scary place. There is, and a lot of say it's a ghost of Bloody Mackenzie, basically, that's there. He still rules.
Got a question.
Well, it's weird when you go. Well, I was just going to say that Simply Alan was saying there, Alan. That's one of it's joining it's a member of the team, ghost hunting team. But there's a place in Douglas. I don't know if you noticed when we were driving down. There was a monument outside a shop, and it's James Cavan, and he was He was in the Covenanters, and they cut his ears off. There's a monument in Douglas to him. And you need to look that guy up, Sarah. Look up James Gavin. And he was a Covenanter.
I'll add it to my list.
Tiggy Cat said, some people, this is what she's, I'm guessing, sort of gathering, some people choose to have an evil, nasty life experience and live as nasty buggers. Why would they choose that? If I get another go, I will be love all the way. Yeah, that's weird.
Basically, because the people, that choose to lead a bad life, a nasty life, they are just negative spirits, basically. They have that negative streak in them. And it's the old saying of free will. It's what they choose to do.
Yeah.
And when they return to the spirit world, then obviously they return to a lower level. I can't really answer it. It's just it's the individual spirit's choice, if that makes any sense.
Here's one for you. Here's one for you, Scott. So do you think that's a possibility as well? You're saying what you're saying is we've all got free will, which is we do have free will. Some things are we do automatically, but we do have free will of what we believe we have free will anyway. Do you think that people choose to come down from, say, the spirit world, or that wherever we go to after this life, the spirit center, should I call it, and plan sort of situations with different people. So like they come down and like I'm going to be the murderer and you're going to be the victim, just to experience that. Do you think that's a possibility?
That's a good one as well. You give me the good one tonight. You mean like pre-planned? I dare say, you know, take for instance Burkin Hare. Remember Burkin Hare, the famous grave robbers?
The graveyard robbers, aye.
Well, one of them was executed, one of them got off, basically. So when they went out of spirit, chance are they would have reunited again, they would have met up. And so in a circumstance with that, if they come back, then they will, I just say they could come back together. And, you know, yeah, it is possible they've got it planned. If you know, if you follow what I'm saying. Burkin Hare's just the first one to pop down.
But then you could say, let's think of it this way: did Hitler plan to kill all the Jews?
Well, that's
you know.
Was it pre-planned? Him coming to Earth, I'm going to wipe out X amount of, you know. There are negative spirits, and if these negative spirits get the opportunity to come to Earth and do their damage, then they will do it. They will take it in whatever form it is. It's just the way the universe basically. It's, you know, you've got the positive and you've got the negative, the yin and yang. You know, you need the good with the bad and the bad with the good.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Dobby Socket in a question. Scott, do you believe people have a spirit guide? And so how do they announce themselves? I had an experience the other day.
I do believe everybody's got a spirit guide. See, I've got one, she's called Alison. And I don't mention her very much. I know she's there, you know. You feel her about. And so everybody has a spirit guide. They won't always make themselves known. The time that they'll make themselves known is usually in a time of crisis. You know, sometimes you have a problem that you don't think you can solve, but at the last minute, you get an idea that will solve it. That's just an example. And 9 times out of 10, that's your spirit guide helping you. You know, something will just. It might be a money issue. Maybe you're due to pay money on a Friday, so, and then come Thursday out. Wait a minute, I've got, you know, just pop in, and that's where your spirit guide helping you. So your spirit guide is there, and they will help you if they feel you need that help, and it can be in the most unusual way. You know, even can be silly things. If you lose maybe a family heirloom that was precious to you, for example. You can't find it anywhere, then suddenly you'll find it. You know, that should be a spirit guide just giving you that wee nudge. Right, it's under the bed. You know, you have a wee tight look under. Oh, there it's there. So yeah, you do it. Everybody's got their own spirit guide. Whether you acknowledge them or not is down to yourself. But they are there.
And I take it. See, spirit guides, are they just us that have died? Just normal people that have died and they've been given that job?
Basically, they can be, or they can be spirits that haven't been born yet. They say my spirit guide is called Alison, and she's actually an ex-girlfriend of mine. I'm going way back. And it was the medium. When I said about the medium, she says there's a girl here. I still remember her word for word. The medium says to me, I've got a girl here, her name begins with an A, her name's Alison. And she passed over in another country. Somebody do a car crash. We were breathing because it was America. And before I met my first wife, I'm going back in the early 1980s. I went out with a girl called Alison. And her mum and dad swapped. Dad stayed in America. She moved to America and she took an asthma attack while driving one night. And she was killed instantly. And this spirit guy, this medium, was banging, and nobody knew. I didn't even discuss that with my wife at the time, you know, because there was nothing to do with anybody. But this medium was banging on. She's watching over you, and so it can be a family member, it could be an ex, it could be anybody. It's whoever they choose to be. You know, it could be a soul that's not been born yet. There's some of the you get spirit guides, and they're termed as guardian angels as well. You know, different people have different names for them. So I do. We've all got a spirit guide at some point, and they are there. You know.
Craig's put on here. So how do we experience an encounter with a spirit? He's asked, how do we experience something with a spirit in the encounter with them? I'm guessing you just have to ask and call about, but then again, you just open the door to things.
Walk into a graveyard and say, "Chase me."
Well, that's basically it. You need to go looking. You know, there's spirit all around. The spirits are everywhere. You just need to go looking. If you're one of the lucky ones to maybe, pick up on something or maybe see something move. Depends if that spirit's got enough energy to move something, that is. But you just need to go looking at the end of the day because they are there.
But you have to be careful too, don't you?
You do need to be careful. Yeah, you do need to
follow you.
That's why, like the Greyfriars, I always say, right, Leno, goodbye. And that kind of cuts the connection. But no, to find a spirit, you just need to go the old-fashioned way, I'm afraid, my friend, and go hunting.
I wouldn't really like to want to follow me home. Can you imagine if that guy, the Greyfriars that haunts the tomb, the Mackenzie guy, had to follow you home?
Well, that'd be it. If the lights out, wouldn't it? You just,
a film of poltergeist with pots and pans and everything floating about.
He's a brutal. He still is a brutal in the spirit as he was in the physical. That's why he got the name Bloody Mackenzie.
I take it. Do you ever feel him outside his tomb, or will he be feared to come outside his tomb because all the other ghosts and spirits will be pissed off with him?
He's been felt. He has been felt in the actual graveyard in the Covenanters prison. It's mostly the Covenanters prison he's been felt in.
Sorry.
But it has been felt in the actual graveyard itself. So he does, come out the tomb basically, but it's mostly in the Covenant because that was his main. That's what he's famous for, the Covenant, and that was his biggest thing in life, which he just wiped these poor people out. And basically that's what he done. He just slaughtered the whole lot of them. And that's where he's most prominent in the Covenanters prison. That's where most of the attacks have taken place as well. I've not heard of many attacks. Oh no, he doesn't want to cross because his control. He still rules there. He's still in charge there. And he doesn't want to lose that grip. Because he knows if he crosses over, then he loses that grip that they had way back, many years ago. It's just not a nice spirit at all. One year better leaving in Edinburgh. Better leaving in Greyfriars, to be honest. Leaving in Greyfriars, I should have said sorry.
Crazy.
When you were up here in Douglas and you sensed, and I told you about the church and about how the soldiers were all murdered in there by the Covenanters. They actually murdered all the English soldiers. I wonder when you go in there, you'll pick that up.
Possibly. As I say to you outside the church, I wasn't getting anything outside the church, and at the end of the day, if I don't feel anything, then I'll tell you. No, I'm not getting anything. I'm not. I don't see the point in saying, "Oh, I can feel them." Once we get after lockdown, we get into the church, and it's possible. Excuse me. It's possible I could pick them up. It's down to them if they want to be contacted, if they want to make themselves.
I would love to know who the woman is. The woman is. The nice spirit that's in the graveyard.
She is. She's as I say, she's very elegant, posh, but she's a nice soul. She's a light soul. She was caring. She is attached to Douglas. Somehow, I don't know if you can. Yeah. Maybe.
Well, in the church itself, there's two people buried. One of the two people, it's one of the lords and his wife. So it might be her.
It could. Well, I was just going to say it could be that she's connected to the church. Because in her physical, she was connected to the church somehow, but she is there, and but she doesn't get near this other one. This male one that I picked up, she doesn't get near him. But she's a lovely soul. But I would check maybe. I don't know if you can check church records or.
I'll do some research. I'll do some research.
I'll send you the link.
I'll do some
I'll
research.
send you the link.
I can find MD that's kind of linked with the church.
Because for what I picked up for somebody, you know, their souls that light would be connected, you know, to the church and what have you. He seems like that kind of person.
See how I sent you the picture today of the tomb and into the wall. There is a woman in there, and she was the lady of the village. She lived in the castle, so that's what makes me think that it's her. Because when Andrina was at the castle and she was using the ghost box and she was using her equipment, she got through the box, lady of the castle. And it makes me wonder, because the castle had a tomb, she was moved. Her and her man were moved from the tomb under the castle to that church.
That's possible.
What I'm thinking.
She is very, very posh, but very nice. You know, so I would definitely look into that and see, because as I say, somebody with that, her type of soul, her light of soul, would be connected somewhere. I would imagine them being a church goer, you know, on a Sunday and you know, stuff like that. So it'd be worth a wee look, maybe.
I'm looking forward to doing a ghost hunt. I'm looking forward to going ghost hunting after the lockdown. We'll be shutting the show down in about 4 minutes. So, Lewis, you got any questions you want to ask Scott?
I was enjoying. I was actually looking at the comments, because there's a few questions people have chucked in there.
There is actually.
I just didn't want to miss. Let's have a look. We got Scott. Dobby Socks. This is from Dobby's Sock. Scott, do you believe people have a? Oh no, he said spirit guide. Experience the other day. I know that was been before. What was it? Oh no, someone put. I woke up one night. It's Dobby Sock. I woke up one night. I see the shape of a child spirit watching me. No features, just outline. I jumped out of bed and asked it what it wanted, and it went away. So I guess that's not really a question, but it's just something it experienced.
Well, possibly because spirit can come at night. So you know, at night time if you're sleeping, your kind of defences are lower.
Right.
If you know what I mean. So you know, spirits can come at night when they feel that they can maybe make contact with you. Whether we get a wee fright when you know, when the German jump to a bed or not, but spirits can come when you sleep because your barriers are down.
Yeah.
More at night time when you're sleeping, so it's easier for a spirit to come and make you aware of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Almost like when you're tired or you haven't slept for like over a day, and your body's run down. You see, you start people say it's hallucinations, yeah. But I think it's like the veil being pulled from reality, and you start to see other things, spirits and shadow people and stuff like that. I've seen that in the past, so maybe it was just I was too tired. But no, there was definitely something to it, because there seemed to be people looking. It was weird start. I've been through it a few times before. I've had lack of sleep.
It's just your body, your barrier.
Yeah,
you don't even know you're doing it. It just drops because you're dreaming about, I don't know, puppies or something, you know, whatever you're dreaming about, don't know. And the barrier drops, you know.
What was the other thing? Yeah,
so I was. What was that? No, you go.
Go, Chris. Go.
No, on you go, because I forgot what I was going to say. On you go, you might have to try and remember.
I was going to say about astral projection, was what we was talking about to start with. So do you do that kind of thing, or do you just do you do meditation or that?
No, or do you I've never
just focus.
It's never something I've bothered with. I've read stories with astral projection, astral travel, and what have you, but I've not. It's never. I'll be honest with you, it's never a thing I've been interested in or even looked at it.
But with your talent, you have to exercise that talent to become good at it. It's like everything, you've got to practice, haven't you? So there must have been a time when you started and you thought, oh, well, I've got something here. It's starting to pick up, and the more you focused on it, and the more you sort of like tried to see more than what there was. Maybe, I don't know. How was it for you?
Was, as I say, before I went to see that medium, I would notice things. and it'd be odd, you know, I would know what somebody was going to say before they said it, and I could meet people, you know. I could meet somebody face to face, and within 5 minutes, I could tell you exactly what that person was like, you know, through and through. And
brilliant. That's brilliant.
if the landline rang, I mean, my first wife, the landline, and many a time our phone used to ring, I would say, "That's your mum," and she would pick up, and it used to freak her out. It used to freak her right out. She, how do you know that was my mum? And I used to say, I used to make the joke, "Oh, it's your mother's ring," but I was, that's your sister on the phone, and I was, you know, and she would say, "How did you do that?"
Yeah.
And after I saw that, and then I used to pick up with somebody beside me, but then I used to just wave it away, just shrug it, no bother. But after I saw the medium, then I started to try to pay more attention to it.
That's how I know you're telling the truth, because it's exactly the same thing that started happening to me when I started to pick up what people were going to have a conversation about, and they might be in mid-conversation, and I'll know exactly what they were going to say, like literally a couple of seconds before, and I could have even came out of it and like made them go, "What the?" Do you know what I mean? But then it started getting like I was getting attacked by like it felt like I was getting like set on fire, and everything was sort of like getting too much for me. Hearing babies cry and stuff like that was getting really intense, and it was like at that point I just like had to stop it and ask my nan to like, whatever's going on, I need to stop this. And she's saying like, you've opened yourself up. So obviously that's exactly what you're saying is just spot on to. I can totally believe what you're saying. There's no doubt in my mind you're telling the truth.
I mean, there'd be times I'd be sitting and say, right, in 10 minutes or so, you know, he or she's going to ask if I want a Chinese. And
exactly.
sure enough, folks would say 10 minutes, we'll have a time later.
There you go.
You fancy a wee Chinese? We were going to say that, you know.
Exactly what I went through when I was younger. And then I stopped because it got too much for me. I couldn't deal with the emotions. I was getting too overwhelmed with emotions. But you're just a living proof of it. Like I can totally relate to you. And people think, "Oh, you're crazy." But you're not crazy. You're switched.
You're not crazy. I'll say, you know, they're going to ask me if I want to go for a drive, and sure enough, I say, "Right, you want to go for a run?"
It's brilliant.
They don't ever tell you the lottery numbers, no?
No.
I've done the lottery.
What I did do sometimes, even if it's happened, I've done it a couple of times, and it was quite funny. When if I knew they're going to ask me if I want a Chinese. I'm just using this as an example. If I knew they were going to say, I'd answer them before they'd asked. You know, I would say, "No, I don't want Chinese tonight." And say, "How do you know I was going to ask you a Chinese?" And I just don't know how funny it was just to see the look in their face. You know, "No, I don't want a Chinese tonight." You think, and you say, "What?" That was just a lot of fun back then. I only done that once or twice or whatever.
Well,
the spirit, you need to fun with spirit.
Go on, Crew.
I'm just got to say, guys, that's the end of the show. We've nearly been on 1 hour 18 minutes. So I would like to thank Scott and Sarah for coming on.
You're very welcome.
And hopefully we'll get you back soon. And thank you to the subscribers for being on. And also thanks to Lewis, the best co-host anybody could ever ask for. So I'm going to end the live stream now, guys. See, you have to butter them up. You have to be nice to them. So, guys, catch you all later, and hopefully there'll be a video out soon.
Yeah, thanks
catch
everyone
for
the
next
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
What?
Is that it?
End broadcast. Nearly.